Coming up, we are going to be talking about Bully Maguire himself. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sacred Rewatch. My name is Ethan Bronson, and this is where we are rewatching every project in the MCU in chronological order, leading up to the big one, Avengers Doomsday. Please make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to. Today, I am joined by Elizabeth.
Hello.
And Grace is in the production room right now. And we're also joined by Wyatt.
Hello, everybody.
And our resident philosopher, chief editor, Spider-Man.
Hello.
So we're talking about Spider-Man 3 today, more specifically, or not specifically, Bully Maguire. There's a lot of good things, bad things to talk about this movie.
Grace isn't here. We might as well frame it better.
How do you feel? We just got finished watching Spider-Man 3. We ordered pizza. We got the whole experience.
Pizza time.
It's pizza time.
It was hilarious. And I don't know if it was because of the writing or because of how horrible parts of it were, or both. But it was hilarious. Especially the sequence of when he really takes the whole symbiote thing and he has his bang and he's like evil Peter Parker.
The absolute lack of situational awareness in terms of human interactions with Peter Parker in this movie, I think makes this movie hilarious.
Yeah.
Every time he's talking to another human being, he has this look of I don't understand why anything isn't going exactly how I want it to go. Throughout the entire movie, he just expects things to just work out. And I actually think it's kind of funny because it's such an opposite from the first two where everything seems to go wrong for Peter Parker. Except for in the first hour of this movie, where everything just seems to go right. He got the keys. First of all, James Franco shows up with the Green Goblin for a solid 45 seconds at the start before forgetting everything. So, his whole best friend's been trying to kill him for the last year. Then he gets hit by a pole, and all of a sudden, Peter, I love you. You're my best friend, Pete. Nothing could ever happen to us. You're my best bud. And then, he gets the key to the cities being Spider-Man. And it's just, I think it's kind of funny that for this movie, I think they did it on purpose, obviously, to have 45 minutes of everything just really going well for Peter before it all starts to go downhill.
Oh, apart from that, I was kind of annoyed at how boring Gwen Stacy was. Maybe it's because I particularly love the Amazing Spider-Man movie 1 and 2, but I'm Gwen Stacy, apart from her being in class and knowing the answer, her first scene, her second scene is her leaning over the desk, showing her boobs off to the camera. And I'm like, this is
if you didn't know that Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker had this whole relationship, you would just think this is some girl that from his class that he likes, and is trying to cheat on MJ with.
Yeah, which is frankly exactly how this comes off the entire movie. He just seems like he's on one even before any part of the symbiote.
He thinks he's on top of the world because he's Spider-Man. I'm gonna kiss this chick in front of my girlfriend, and no one's gonna care. And then
no one knows who he is.
Instantly, and he's at dinner and he's talking to her, and he's like, "Why are you being so mad right now? I get what you're feeling. You're sad. I'm Spider-Man. I'm Spider-Man."
Well, at first, it comes off as, why is MJ being so rude to him? Because the first time this kind of comes around, it's we literally just watched this entire movie on the second one of him being going through the motions of rejection and understanding that he's never going to be what everyone wants him to be. And that's the whole entire arc. And then you get into the third one, and the first thing that is happening to her is essentially rejection. He's like, why are you feeling this way? I understand what you're going through and I'm trying to relate to you. And then it just turns at some point where it's why do you care? I'm Spider-Man. It's cool. And it's so odd.
She should have died. Thinking, I know how sad, but thinking about it. Right. The Peter Parker suffering a great loss like that because he's Spider-Man, again, is so pivotal to the character. Peter's supposed to be this whole oh, I can't be with you because you're gonna get hurt at the end. does it anyways, and then they get hurt at the end. It's kind of how it goes for Spider-Man. And then at the end of the day, he has to learn to get back up and be Spider-Man. None of these movies really take that angle, and I think they really should have, because that's kind of what makes Spider-Man Spider-Man. Is at the end of the day, he's always going to put the mask back on to go save the city.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really face any true adversity in that at all, besides the second one, where his problem is she just doesn't want to date him because he keeps lying about everything and disappearing.
And honestly, you don't even get to see essentially that arc, because obviously at the end of this, Harry dies and Gwen Stacy's
Not a character. Like she's not a
no. The
substance.
Yes.
the other guy,
Eddie Brock.
Eddie.
He dies.
Topher Grace.
When Topher
I
Grace's
love Topher
character
Grace. He's the best part of this movie.
And when Harry's character dies, you don't see let's get back up because I'm going to be Spider-Man. It just kind of is like, and my friend died, but
Yeah, but
he was kind of evil
But he was
too.
kind of bad. He was kind of evil.
Yeah,
He
talk
was
about
trying to
that.
kill
And that was
Or-
the end.
Talk about the aura farm in the black suit, though.
Once he gets the the best part of this movie is that like once he gets symbiote suits, when the movie's interesting.
Well, and Topher Grace.
Oh, I mean, all the stuff with James Franco, like once he finds out he's the Green Goblin again, and he's the coffee shop, and he's like lying to people,
That-
I'm
And
like,
he
that stuff's
turns
amazing.
around.
All that stuff's amazing.
That's
Oh
the
my
best
When
God.
part.
the scene of MJ breaking up with Peter, and then it cuts to James Franco leaning against a tree, like watching in the distance, like this,
Yeah.
is so
Yeah.
funny.
It's the
Hey,
other
Peter,
is so iconic for
I'm
other
the other guy,
reasons.
pal.
Just that scene of him turning around. Just
Turn on the wings,
And
and then the
that
bus
makes-
is, and he's gone. Like the Green Goblin has any sort of like ability to get out of a room fast.
No, it's like he literally just
He
ducked
ducked down.
Yeah. Oh.
he dined and dashed too. It's not very ethical.
Yeah, Peter, that's why I invited you here. I'm the other guy. I don't believe you. Just like-
the way her lips kissed when she kissed me. I'm
Oh
like,
my
why are we going into that detail, man?
James Franco.
'Cause they're
probably
at this
ad-libbed
point,
it.
both
James
of-
Franco ad-libbed
when
that.
the both of them
Yeah.
have that weird like
That was improv.
role. At this
Oh,
point,
man.
it's like they both turn some form of evil, and they're just having like an evil off this entire movie. It's like, who can be more devious in their actions?
I really wish
Right.
I
Just
could
hear spoken
experience the
stuff.
Bully Maguire stuff as like a person in the movie
Justin
theater in
Bieber.
2007.
Oh, Joseph
Because
Yeah.
now every single shot of him with his hair combed over his eye, or him like finger gunning these chicks as he walks by, is so funny. And it's the best part of the movie. But I think if I were to watch it in 2007, I'd be like, what the hell am I watching right now? Like, why is he doing this? It's so like kind of creepy and weird.
I think it's weird.
What?
All just the way he acts.
Oh yeah.
The way he stares at people.
It's
and
so
the
weird.
look he gives is
It's
creepy.
like the
Uncomfortable.
It's
also
the-
with the piano bar when he's just
Oh,
like,
they're so good.
"This is for you."
That is so good.
Oh my god!
Like-
and then he like puffs his jacket, and Gwen Stacy's hair is like.
he like turns into the Rizzler for
It's
5
so-
seconds of this
oh, man.
entire movie,
I
and
kept-
then it's like, oh,
I kept thinking like
back to Spider-Man.
he can't be the most attractive one in this movie. Like,
I don't-
why everyone
yeah.
could be down for Tobey Maguire.
Also,
Right.
every time Dr. Connors looks at the camera and just for
Breaks
5
the
lines
fourth wall.
directly tells you what's happening so that the viewer can understand what a symbiote is, pains
Right.
me to watch. He looks at the
Yeah.
camera and goes, Peter, this is a symbiote. These are very dangerous. Don't let these get any close to you. They can make you kind of a bad guy.
You didn't keep him.
You
right?
didn't put it on your suit. You didn't keep it, did you? And it cuts to Peter wearing it.
Well, also,
He's
I
like-
thought
Yeah.
at the beginning, I thought Ursula in the first couple movies like had a crush on Peter, and now she's like, Pete, MJ left you a message,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what? Where's
I also,
the?
yeah.
There's a
Shit,
lot of
there's
Also, did he
Lost,
start? Did he start paying his rent now that like?
No, because the guy shows up and he's like, rent? And he goes, oh, you get your rent when you fix this door. And he like slams the door behind him. He doesn't pay rent at all. He hasn't paid rent in 3 movies.
I was saying,
You
the
gotta
third
just-
movie, he's nice and
He's
getting
kind of
that
just
orange.
living. Well,
He is
also,
nice for doing the 3rd one.
also,
Yeah, right?
what happens to Aunt May after the entire mortgage situation in
She
movie
moved
She
into
two?
moved in the
apartment.
city.
Yeah,
That's-
And then that little
She
kid
was
like
very
was
briefly
packing
in the
her
3rd
stuff up.
movie.
Yeah.
She shows him in the 3rd one to tell Peter
but
Spider-Man
I love
doesn't
how
kill.
that's like
Yeah.
such a big core part of like trying to keep Uncle Ben in that whole arc around. And then movie 3, it's like he's
She won-
evil,
she won the
and that's
lottery.
Tobey
it.
Maguire's Peter Parker and Spider-Man is the epitome of I'm gonna make it and forget all my homies.
100%. 1,000%. I got the key to the city, MA, so you're kind of on your own now.
I'm gonna
over
cheat
here.
on my girls because the crowd's
this?
gonna love it. Screw all of you. You're all in fact.
That kissing is crazy to me.
I can do whatever I want.
It's insane.
The fact that he suggests it, I forget that that's like a whole ploy of it.
Come on, kiss me. I love it. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like deep down.
They
You
do-
will
they do-
always be
they
that
do a
nerd
good
perv.
job they do a good job at, I guess, showing how much more confident he is when he's actually Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But they just make him kind of a dickhead. Like, he's just mean.
He's
Yeah.
not confident, he's just
Like,
cocky.
no, it's just like the nerd who finally got popular, and he's like, all my homies love me. The women
I'm
want to
gonna
kiss me.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna forget all my day ones. And Aunt May, his ultimate day one is forgotten.
I think the Finn Marco stuff is pretty good. I actually think he's a relatively
Yeah.
good character
Yeah.
in this.
I think
Like earlier,
that's the only
he's
reason I'd rewatch.
He's not a
Yeah.
bad guy. He's morally misguided.
yeah.
Can we?
Not even that. He's just trying
It's
to.
cool.
He just wants to see his daughter.
Yeah.
He killed the guy though. We gotta
Yeah.
go.
He did kill.
Yeah.
Flint
Uncle
Marco.
Ben. He did kill Uncle Ben.
It
The
was
guy.
accidental manslaughter, and he
Peter forgive
probably
them.
could have gotten. Oh, yeah, something could have been worked out where he didn't have to attempt to escape prison to finally see his daughter.
If he got a really good
Yeah.
lawyer,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know a guy.
I know a guy.
Hey guys, I just want to take a moment to thank our sponsors. This episode is sponsored by Effortless Expeditions, a Disney-centered travel agency, here to help you plan your next Disney vacation. Contact them today for a free, no-obligation quote. Wherever the destination, they make the experience truly effortless. This episode of the Sacred Rewatch is also brought to you by Bronson Made, a digital marketing and branding agency that helps businesses grow and stand out. With the idea of our canvas, your story, Bronson Made makes the creative process simple, collaborative, and effective. Find out more at bronsonmade.com or follow them on Instagram at bronsonmade.
Speaking of having really good reflexes,
Mysterio reference in the second one. I'll talk about that.
oh,
Or sorry, Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
the doc taken, yeah.
Which
For
is funny.
some reason,
the director.
when Spider-Man has the symbiote on him, why are his reflexes just suddenly the best they've ever been out of these entire movies? Because when him and Harry's goblin are essentially fighting off in the room,
Oh my
and
God,
the
that
grenade moment when the pumpkin grenade,
So cool.
Harry throws it at him,
He has Spidey
and
sense.
he
He's always
just
thinking reflexes.
blink. Not as good.
Maybe the
like,
CGI just got better.
yeah. But the fact that
He's
he
been
was like
Spider-Man for a
sensitive and
while,
just,
too, though.
like grabbed it and swung it right back at him.
He's honed.
I
his
think
power.
another
Yeah.
another reason for that is normally if he's normal Spider-Man, he has to think about it. He has to think
Exactly.
about like, oh, is me throwing this gonna hurt someone? Or when he's got the
Mhm.
symbiote, he's like, screw it, throw this back at you. We'll see what
He's
happens.
like, "Ah."
It would be cool if symbiote Spider-Man killed someone, like when he punches someone and like just kills
He's
them.
already such a pain in this movie,
well,
dude.
then,
Then you
then
got-
MJ would be dead.
I don't know.
Because they don't
This
really
movie's a
know.
tough
None of the
one.
Spider movies attack the fact that Peter's always holding back
Yeah.
because he could physically use it to kill someone.
Yeah.
Because there's a really cool comic run where Doc Ock transfers his brain into Peter Parker, and he's Spider-Man for like
That's
2
an
years.
interesting one.
And the first thing he does when he fights the lizard, he goes to punch him, and he punches his jaw clean off and kills the lizard.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh,
It'd be like that
Peter
scene
was
in
holding
Wonder
back.
Man.
crazy."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Well,
would be
and
like Wonder
that-
Man, dude.
You can definitely see. And I mean, the only thing that's consistent throughout the movies on like getting better is the fact that he's becoming a better at his craft.
Exactly. I think the CGI
But that's
helps,
it.
but there's a lot more like like when he's swinging and stuff. Like when he saves Gwen Stacy, he's a lot of like dodging through obstacles and stuff. There's a lot more of like, I guess the CGI allows for more cooler swing
Yeah.
animations and
And I guess
cooler like
that works.
small
CGI.
risk.
Yeah.
So he's like doing more cool stuff.
Yeah.
Brody, do you know the Willem Dafoe poses?
Oh, the ones like the promotional. It wasn't like just for this movie, but like where he's doing like the splits and he's like got his hands behind his
He's, like, in
back.
the
Oh,
And he's like,
I request for you to put one
Trying to
up
giggle
in
here. I was like,
episode
oh,
one.
he
In that first
knows.
one.
I brought those
Oh,
up
yeah.
and nobody knew what I was talking about.
I
so
should
I'm
put
really
the- I'll
glad
put those in the
somebody on
thumbnail.
this pod knows.
one of the thumbnail images
Oh,
will
but
be
don't worry.
Willem Dafoe
If
doing
you
the
when you
splits.
rewatch the first Spider-Man review, I request that you put it above us.
I did show the camera. I'm glad we
Yeah.
have someone else
Put it
here that
above
knows
you
the Willem Dafoe
guys?
lore.
Ethan,
Yeah.
is that allowed? I mean, I don't usually add images mid-video.
I think it'd be
We
pretty
can do it one-offs. We can do one-offs.
Okay.
This movie heavily
All right.
suffers from
Proofs
villain
from my
overload.
iPhone.
You don't need 3 villains in one Spider-Man movie.
That's so true.
Yeah,
Like,
that's-
why
I'm
is everyone a
forgetting-
But
villain?
remember, that was the studio part. How we were talking,
Yeah.
the studio got too involved.
Yeah.
Like, this movie was written by Sam Raimi and his brother for this one, but it was the studio that was forcing Venom to be in the movie. And I don't know if it was the other people, but I know Venom at least was forced to be in the movie. But the
And it
Sandman
kinda-
stuff looks so cool.
The Sandman stuff is
does.
great, but the
Yeah.
Venom stuff is almost nothing. Like, there's no real
I'm not a big
character
symbiote
there.
fan.
Besides the
when it comes
symbiote,
to
like, you don't even really...
Spider-Man.
I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think that there could have been... Like, they don't even really... You know he's an alien because he comes from space, but that's kind of about it. There's no real personification of the symbiote at all, outside of just being this weird goo. Like, you don't really know
Yeah.
that it's kind of a person.
Yeah.
I do like the teeth
I
in
think
the
another
design,
thing
though,
is
compared to the newer Venom
I like the
that we
teeth a
got.
lot.
I think
Yeah,
the
make me
layered teeth
uncomfortable.
is a
This
cool,
one's so
scary
scary.
design.
honestly though, I almost feel like
Topher Grace going to pray in the church to get Peter Parker killed because he got him fired from his job, which he photoshopped a picture of Spider-Man, which I'm pretty sure is against like the first pillar of journalism.
Yeah.
And you find out that he wasn't even dating Gwen Stacy. He had an obsessive crush over her and went to coffee one time, and then he's gonna go to church and ask God to spike this man in the shit. And I also don't
That is
understand
the
why you
D1
don't have them date each
D1
other.
hater.
What is the point of having Topher Grace be creepily stalker Gwen Stacy? Why can't they just have been dating?
I think,
Yeah.
I guess, to just get us to hate him more.
To
because
show
we're
that he's a
supposed
creep?
yeah.
because we're supposed to love Peter Parker. He's the protagonist. But
He's a scumbag too.
he is. I don't like
It's
him.
crazy that everyone's
I
dating
think to
MJ.
go back to the villain thing. The fact that even Venom or Sandman are in this movie, like, just takes away from the entire plot that's been building between him and Harry
Yeah.
for like years, which is
Yeah.
the finding out
Yeah.
about Spider-Man, and then you have the entire arc of him losing his memory in a fight with him to
If
regaining
anything-
that consciousness. That whole plot line just to kind of be lost to, like, come on, you have to help me fight these other people.
If I were
Yeah.
to make some tweaks to the whole trilogy, I don't think that James Franco should have. I always call people by their actors and their character names.
Yeah.
I don't think that Harry Osborn should have known. Like, at the first one, when Peter lays down his dad, he finds out that his dad is the Green Goblin, that Peter is Spider-Man, and that Spider-Man has killed his father all in one moment. And then the second movie is all him, like, trying to get back at Spider-Man. I think it would have been a little better if he doesn't know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man until the end of the second one.
He doesn't.
No, he knows at the very end of the first one because
Yeah.
he doesn't have Peter's not wearing a mask when
No,
he leaves that home.
No, Harry doesn't know.
No,
until
he
the second
finds that
one.
his dad's dead,
Oh, you're
and
right.
finds that Spider-Man
right.
delivered
Because
him.
he's
the very
he's like,
he's
I'm gonna get
He's asking
Spider-Man.
Peter, you
And
take the
he-
pictures for the guy, you won't tell me who he is, he killed my dad.
Yeah, and then
Which
at
makes
the
a
end of
little
the
more sense
second
on
one,
why he
it's
doesn't
like
like
the,
Peter. It's because
oh,
thinks Peter's
shit.
holding out from him.
Yeah.
I think it'd be better if there was a whole movie where they're going at each other, you know? You just kind of get like 15 minutes at the beginning. There's that cool fight in his house when, like, James Franco has, like, the Green Goblin suit under his, like, dress shirt, and, like, he's kind of like bringing out the gadgets kind of out of nowhere. That's a cool shot. But it's only 5 minutes, and then the next time they see each other, he's kind of had that moment of realizing that Peter didn't kill his dad, which I also think is kind of dumb because it was kind of very obvious to the start from everyone. Even, like, I think even James Franco had to have known that. That's why it's not much of a shock when his butler friend tells him. He already kind of deep down knew that. Have him not care.
Yeah.
And have him be a bad guy. Have him not care that like in Civil War, when Iron Man finds out that Bucky was brainwashed and kills his parents, and he gives that line like, "You killed my mom." Like, he doesn't care that you're brainwashed. You killed my mom. I would have liked it better if
Yeah.
James Franco was like, "I don't care that you're Spider-Man and you do all this good. My dad was the Green Goblin. You killed my dad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you back for that."
Yeah.
I would have liked that a little better than the whole kind of like half rush 20-minute redemption arc. But I've also always had a big
Yeah.
problem with redemption arcs. The same reason I've always had a problem with characters losing their powers and having to refine them. I just find it very, very boring. We know that Spider-Man's going to get his powers back. So in the second movie, when there's a whole like 45 minutes of him not having his powers, I just think it's kind of unnecessary. but I've kind of always thought that way for
Oh.
all superhero movies.
Also, I feel like throughout the first and second, it's solely directed towards whatever's going on at Oscorp. Like, there's so much direction in 1 and 2 of, like, the reason why the villains are coming out the way that they are is because of Oscorp.
Yeah.
It is barely touched on, if at all, in number 3, that it has anything to do with anything regarding them.
How does Oscorp exist? Because isn't in the first one there's that whole issue where they're selling the company?
Yeah.
Well, they were gonna pull funding, and then,
Oh, it's right. He blows everyone up.
yeah,
He blows up the
Osborn
competitors.
You can't do
murders
this to me.
everyone. And it's like,
I
gotcha.
started this company.
And then in the second one, Harry's taken over, and Harry's also kind of afraid of the same thing, but then Doc Ock has that whole moment. And then suddenly no one seems to care?
Yeah, Harry very much stops. The Oscorp stuff. I mean, you can't have Oscorp when you have Sandman and Venom and a new Green Goblin, and you're building on the Peter MJ relationship. There's no room for any of that. Which is why Aunt May shows up for what? 3 scenes in the last one?
Mhm.
Yeah. She's just kind of stopping by. Like, it's like the entire plot of 1 and 2 is just lost to Bully Maguire.
Everything is just very rushed.
I think in the third one, once Peter gets the other suit, you need a shot of him at Uncle Ben's grave or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to show some sort of like,
Attachment.
because he has that
Yeah.
fight he has that whole jazz bar scene where he like hits MJ while he's trying to like fight those bar guys off. And I'm happy he drew a line in the sand and knew it's time to take the suit off. But I would have liked a little more actual what's the word? I would have wanted to see. We need to see that a little more. He just kind of like fights. He kind of like has the outburst in the bar, and then the next thing you know, he swings to the bell and instantly like takes the suit off. And it's just kind of I don't
Yeah.
know. I would have liked a little more thought behind him, or at least let's see that thought process.
I'm sorry.
Let
I
us
thought my
see-
dog was a lot smarter than he is.
In the third movie, there isn't really any moments that show you why Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and I don't really
Yes.
know if any of these movies do that very well. Of like
Why is he chosen
Yeah,
to
like,
be
why is-
Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about too much about the other 2 movies, but like to me, there's plenty of moments in Andrew Garfield's and in Tom Holland's
100%.
where you see the character of Peter Parker and like the goodness of him.
Yeah.
And these movies don't really do that at all.
You
I at
could-
least think at
you-
least.
Like, he has the goodness of, he clearly is willing to drop everything to save
Mm-hmm.
the city. But other than that, his personality is kind of trash. And I do.
When he hits MJ, there's some looks he gives her in that third movie where I think he wanted to before. Like, there's that
Yeah.
shot where she comes in, he's trying to talk to him,
Maybe it wasn't.
and she's like, "Can you turn that police scanner off?" And he gives her this look that's like,
He's like,
bro, you have to say this. Bitch, are you serious? You want me to turn off that? It's like,
Right.
like that's my job.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm Spider-Man, you're a nobody. There's so much of that in the third movie that I kind of just
The ego is
Also,
just like
yeah.
out the roof for some reason.
This is why
I
the
get it,
first
you're
movie is the
Spider-Man.
best one,
You're
man.
Spider-Man. Like my ego would be through the roof too if I was Spider-Man.
She's like gotten fired, and he keeps cutting off. And he's like, "I get it.
As
He-
Spider-Man.
I see my name. I'm a Halloween costume now." And it's like it's not
Like-
what we're talking
Like the
about,
first
dude.
time he says it to her, and he's like, I get it. It's like this was the whole second plot. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the second time he's like, yeah, no, now I'm a costume, and just like
He loves
everyone
himself
wants me. And she's like, the are you talking about?
The Bruce Campbell
Yeah.
cameo in the third one, I think, is the best one. When he's like at the waiter at the dinner, and
Yeah.
he's like shoving them off.
Yeah.
I think that's the best part of the dinner.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I don't know.
I don't
Andrew
know.
showed
The
up for that dinner.
piano was pretty crazy.
Oh, the piano's so good.
Man, I-
Oh my god! When he goes to the place in the first place, and he whispers in that lady's ear, "Hey, find us some shade," and slips her a 20, like
Take your hot legs.
Thanks, hot legs. Like, dude, it's just like
Oh man.
it's so over the top that I
It is,
How'd
it
that
is something
get
I
in
never
there?
would think that would
It
come
makes
out of
the
Tobey
movie. Like,
Maguire's mouth.
yes, it makes the movie. You
Yeah.
need those Bully Maguire
he doesn't
moments of
have
just
that
like
swamp that
laughing
he
at
thinks
this.
he
And I'm like,
has.
oh man.
It's
I'm
the I'm hot stuff, and everyone's like thinks it. In reality, every single person watching the movie is just like,
I just
no.
I just forget how
Yeah.
choppy all these movies are, and it might be because they're older, but they just remind
They
me
are
of-
very much a time machine.
Yeah, they remind me of older movies. Like There's Something About Mary, where they're just such movies are
Yeah.
hilarious,
You need
and that's
yeah.
why you love them.
Yeah.
the Bully Maguire stuff makes this movie so much more fun, and I think at the end of the day, that's what makes the Sam Raimi ones good. Is they're fun movies.
Yeah.
They're not.
They are.
They don't take themselves too seriously, and
Yeah.
I think that you kind of need that in superhero movies, unless you're
Mhm.
like.
Endgame.
There's great examples. Like Logan is a very, very serious superhero
Yeah.
movie that's
Sure.
amazing, but there's very few cases where it works out well. Robert Pattinson's Batman
Yeah.
is awesome. But
I'm just not a big symbiote fan. I've never been a big symbiote fan. Like I know it's kind of
just-
illegal as a Spider-Man fan, but it's
I
just
wish
like
we had more fun in these movies the way that the Daredevil movie, or not Daredevil.
movie. You don't want to watch that.
What's it
I'm
called?
sorry.
Movies are
Ben
Deadpool.
Affleck.
The Deadpool movies are so fun and crazy and silly for the fact of like the charisma that comes with the character, but also just like it's just a fun movie to watch. And I wish that was a bit more of the style that they took. But
Yeah,
Tobey
I
Maguire
think there's
is
like
just
a
such an awkward character.
I always forget that at the
It's
time
like-
he was hot stuff. Like
yeah.
he was a
he was
a-
a hot commodity.
yeah.
yeah,
He
Same
had the
with-
Leonardo
He's
DiCaprio's
just
buddy.
so weird.
Same with Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah.
Kirsten Dunst. She was
True.
like
She's
huge.
huge.
And that's exactly what I was saying
She was in
about
the
like
Sofia Coppola movie.
Yeah.
the Mona Lisa smile movie, which I was talking about was like the antithesis of being the damsel in distress.
I mean, she was also in like the four sisters or virgins or something. I'm gonna stop talking. She was in a lot of movies at this time.
It's 2000,
Yeah.
early 2000s with Kirsten Dunst and
And she was like absolutely killing it in every role, and them being like, this she can't sing.
was James Franco a big actor at this time or not really
I don't
quite
think
She
so.
yet?
was in Freaks and Geeks,
And that's
was
kinda-
his first thing. That was it,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not. That was it. But
Going-
that was,
Yeah.
I would have liked to see the fourth one because I talked to this when we watched it, Brody. To me, it feels a little I don't know what the right word is.
the
Unfulfilling,
virgin
I guess.
suicides.
Oh,
Hey,
I
we
thought
still
it was
might.
supposed to be a super
Oh,
sad
We
one
one.
still
threesome
might.
now.
We might see a fourth
We
movie.
might nowadays, but
Sam
I
Raimi
think
changed what he said about it.
It feels sort of unsatisfying to have this movie be such an anti-Peter Parker movie, where he's not so much the antagonist, but he's not someone you really root for in this movie, and you're not supposed to. You know, it's symbiote Spider-Man. You're supposed to be rooting against him in a way. It sucks that the whole movie is kind of him being in a bad light, and that's just where the trilogy ends. You know, and I can't talk
Yeah.
about no at all.
Nope.
It sucks that our resolution to the character is something we just get told to us later on. That's all I'll say. You know, like
That's why we
like,
might
to
get
find
that
out-
movie. Who knows?
I hope so. The original idea was really cool with
But I-
Electro and Mysterio.
Yeah. I think this, like most Spider-Man movies, you just have to take aspects from it and kind of be like, well, I want this, but I don't want the whole movie vibe. Like, I think there's a dream
Sam
world
Raimi's
where
would've
you
been
have
cool, but I
someone who
think his
feels
Mysterio would have been more
like
actual power
a-
based and not so much Pike based, which would have been really.
that would have
cool.
been cool.
You think so?
Same with
Mhm.
his Vulture that was going to
Brody,
be in
I
the
like what you
Spider-Man
said
4.
right there.
His Vulture was supposed to be messed up, like really physically weird looking.
Yeah,
Brody,
the
I
cat's
really
weird.
like what you said about there's not a single one of these Spider-Man movies that's going to have every single aspect we want. I think that's something really good to take forward to not just the remaining Spider-Man movies we have left, but the rest of the multiverse movies we have left. There's a lot of them that aren't going to be very good.
To
There's some
me-
really good aspects.
To me, the Sam Raimi
Yeah.
ones are the comic book campy ones. The Andrew Garfield are kind of the more like heavy hitting Spider-Man ones, and then the Peter Parker ones, the Tom Holland ones are like the really good Peter Parker story, where you get to see Peter Parker as an
That-
actual
yeah.
human being. As an actual,
That's what I
there's-
think is the goal, is
Yeah.
you would have someone that feels like a young Peter Parker like Tom Holland. You'd
Mhm.
have the character relationships that Andrew Garfield gets, that where you actually care about his relationship and the stakes. Aunt May probably from Spider-Man 1. And then the villains and
Yeah, I don't
stuff
remember Aunt May at all
kind of
from the
somewhere in
first
between what we
Indicator.
got
I do.
with everybody.
I know the actor's face in my
Same.
head, but I
What's
don't
her
know her
name?
name.
Let me.
She's very famous.
She is very. She always plays someone's mom.
Yeah. Wow, that's a really good way to put it.
Oh, Sally Field.
Yeah.
Yes, Sally
Mm.
Field.
Ow! God, he hit my head.
He is in a
I will
Oh my
say-
God.
Sam Raimi, or maybe it's just Tobey Maguire himself. They
Bro has my hate.
They make it really good, really easy to be frustrated with Peter Parker because we're like, why can't you juggle all these things at once? Why can't you go to
Yeah,
class?
bro.
And
Be
why
Spider-Man.
can't
Make it
you
a class on time.
Yeah, or go to your girlfriend's 8:00 showing.
Yeah, they gotta make it more La La Landish
You need a
and
moment.
make it
Yeah.
more
I would have liked a
serious with
moment.
it.
Maybe I'm just maybe I just like darker movies. I
Please.
would have liked a moment where he chooses to not help someone to be Peter Parker,
Yeah, I
and then something bad happens, and that's when and then he has to the whole great power, great responsibility. I would like to see
Right.
that more, just to see him make that early on at Spider-Man. The one time he chooses, the cop got this one, and you find out some innocent
Right.
person got shot like Uncle Ben,
Yeah.
and it's just that
Then you steal the Tom Holland line.
reaffirmation in him that he has to be Spider-Man. Like he
Yeah.
can't pick and choose. I can help people today,
Yeah.
but now today I want to go have dinner with
But
them.
that's
Which
why
is
that
so
Tom Holland
ironic.
line's so good, dude. When he's like, when you can
It's
do
so
the things that I
ironic.
can do,
What's the
Yeah.
Tom Holland?
you
one?
have to. You mean it's like it's
Oh,
in
yeah.
Civil War, right?
That's one of the best lines. I love. We can't talk about Tom Holland forever. I love getting rid of the origin story is the best part of those Tom Holland movies because it takes you get
Yeah.
a whole extra movie to build on the actual character instead of the story we all know.
Yeah. Which
And keeping his
additionally-
friend.
Yes,
I think that causes more issues than his friend turning evil. I think these
100%.
movies make Tom Holland Spider-Man look amazing. I know people will still argue for these old movies, but I still think the first one's the best out of the
Like,
three,
everyone wants
and
that
I
to become the
rewatched the first
Hobgoblin.
one the
That's
most.
such like a unnecessary thing.
Yeah.
I think the whole with
No,
great power
I don't know.
becomes great responsibility. It's like, it's so ironic that is such a key line
Mm-hmm.
for these movies, and yet I feel like it's more utilized in the other Spider-Man renditions.
He's
I
the
don't remember
least
so
responsible in these movies.
exactly,
Yes.
and I don't even.
Yeah.
When does the line even happen? It's
Uncle Ben
it's-
tells him.
but it's
It's
not
in
even.
Spider-Man
I thought
1.
it was. It's
It's
not
the
even Uncle
last-
Ben dies. It's like afterwards. He just has. He has a dream of Uncle Ben saying it to him.
It's
No,
the,
he
yeah.
No,
says
Uncle Ben
it.
says
It's
no.
him getting
It-
dropped off for school or
It's him
something.
thinking about
Oh, he does say it when
In
he
the
drops him
corner.
off at the library. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, never mind.
Yeah.
But the fact
I
that
don't
it's
know.
just
It's weird.
mildly skimmed over, and then the rest of the movies use it like it's their bread and
I was going to say
butter.
every other movie I think nails the line. The Tom Holland ones nail it perfectly
Yeah.
by showing you that he's already known it, like showing you that he already kind of grew up with
Yeah.
that ideology from an Uncle Ben that we don't know or never see, which I also think is great. And then when it actually happens in the third movie, it hits so much harder.
Mhm.
I think that's the only problem with the Tom
Oh, that
Holland
third
stuff,
Tom
though,
Holland one's good.
is they kind of restate the their version of the with great power comes great responsibility. I think each time they do it, it's amazing. I just think this one does have a more clear path
Yeah.
of you get that as your kickoff. Where I think, as much as I love the Tom Holland ones, but
Mumford and Sons.
if we're wrapping up,
the second one,
what
Yeah, we're
what is
getting
your guys' scores? We're doing scores at the end of the episode. For those who stay tuned,
For all
because
three,
I
or
feel like
just-
I'm dropping this.
You haven't done that third one yet.
I feel like I'm dropping
Ready?
this one to 15.
I gave this one.
You gave it a
15.
what?
That's pretty low for you. I'm not gonna lie.
No, like I
I
do
was saying
like the
15 is
first
pretty
movie a
low for you,
lot,
but I gave it.
and then down.
I gave this one a 10. So it's kind of the same thing. It starts pretty good, and just slowly
Yeah.
goes downhill.
I get a 17, which is
Really?
better than the other two. A point better, just
I also gave
because
it a 17.
it looked better. It was more cohesive.
The
It was-
the
It
sound,
looked better.
the soundtrack, the iconic moments, and the rewatchability are all very high for
Yeah,
this movie. It's
yeah,
fun. It's
100%.
the Bully Maguire moments. Every single moment came up. We were all laughing. They're all hilarious. It makes them more. It's a fun movie to watch. The worst parts are the characters. Characters suck, and the story's really bad too. But that soundtrack, when that first time, oh my gosh, when he gets a symbiote on him,
Yes.
and then he's like, where am I? And he opens his eyes. He's like, so good.
Mm.
So
But
good.
like, there's
What'd you
something
give it
about the
first?
first movie.
You had a 15 out of 25.
Which
Did she say
one's the
15
best
too?
one out of the three? I think we've watched all three.
I said Spider-Man
I would say
too.
confidently the first one for me. It's something about the ending being at the funeral
Oh, it's the
and him having the speech. Like that
It's a
speech
very
at the end
Spider-Man
makes me
ending.
want to
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
the movie just because I know the ending is good. and I don't have to
I
worry
haven't-
about all these
I gave
other
the first one.
carrying over from the last movie. Like, I just like
My
watching
ranking
it
goes 1
contained.
through
It's like how I
3.
am with First Avenger.
Really?
I enjoy the third one the most because I think it's just most fun to watch. But I think structurally, movie wise, I think the first one's a better
Favorite
Spider-Man
what?
movie.
Of the three.
Yeah.
So before this, I thought the second one was going to be my favorite, but it ended up being the first one.
Yeah, that's how I
Yeah.
felt too.
That's fair.
I love Doc Ock though, but
Mm.
seeing it, back in front of my eyes, Willem Dafoe's so good in that role.
He is.
He has a really good line in the
Yes,
end
he
where
is.
he's like, "I won't
Sick,
die a
man.
villain."
This guy has his own Green
Aquaman
Goblin
is
going
great.
on. Jesus.
Goblin.
Well, you guys have any last thoughts before I wrap it up?
Nope.
Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man has one of the best Spider-Man moments on screen ever, or on screen ever. We'll talk
Crazy,
about it
because that is not who we're talking about, Wyatt.
next week. I said next week.
You said next week.
I know, just joking.
All I could say is Doc Ock's my fave, and so is that Spider-Man scene. Number 2 wins it for me.
It is good. It is good. Well, that is going to do it for this episode of the Sacred Rewatch. We hope you enjoyed diving back all the time with us. New recap episodes are coming out every week leading up to Avengers Doomsday. Thank you for making the Sacred Rewatch part of your journey for all time, always.
Yeah.
See you guys.